We talked earlier about the false belief systems and about the way of figuring things out as a way that brings us into the road of choosing death. And here we're talking about that statement, that cause and effect statement, relegated in the future, which says, if I do this, then this will happen. If then. If then being the most destructive cause and effect statement, conclusionary statement that we know. And to come to a conclusion means to choose death, because conclusion means the end of something. It means that we've come to the point of death. Conclusion means it's over. So we look at what's been the misperception and the misconception, which are the generative factors for these emergency states. So I either use my senses in a way that trick me, or I use my thinking process in a way that tricks me because I misconceive. And we talked a lot about, in the 1 Minute Life Repair, about what we conceive, those conceptions, and now we focus also on the misperceptions, on what we perceive that are misleading us. Your misperceptions and your misconceptions will generate the emergency state. So the emergency state is common to all of us. There's no one here who doesn't really suffer at some point from a created emergency. What you do with it, again, is going to be the key to how you are going to enter into this physiological state, either of life or death. So the first order of business is to look at the emergency state, define for yourself whether it's true or false, give yourself a correct piece of information about the emergency, whether it's true or not, and then it's possible that you may see what this emergency state looks like. A woman came to me and was concerned about her financial life. And she felt that she was in an emergency because she was not having enough income to take care of her rent, and that she was also falling into some tax difficulty with the IRS and was not going to be able to meet a tax burden that was being placed on her. So she saw herself as a destitute woman, as a bag lady, and that she would be out on the street with no one to take care of her. So that, for her, in that image, became her emergency situation. So we reversed the image and asked her to see what the image would look like, because the image is a belief. As she images, so she's believing. This morning we're talking about conceptions, the conceiving, and how the images are associated. Here we see that an image has an associated belief if you ask. So what is the belief that's associated to this image? And so her first order of business is it's an emergency and I'm going to be destitute. I won't be able to survive. And she changes it around and sees herself as someone who's enriched, and that money is coming to her and it's flying through the window on wings, and that she is getting for herself the sustenance that she needs. So she's taken the emergency situation and turned it around. You take this situation, see what it looks like, and turn it around. You turn the image over to its opposite. So now you're creating a new belief. And the new belief is, I am able to gain the necessary financial income that I need. Out of the blue, she said, which means from the invisible world. She receives a $2,500 check from the federal government because she had overpaid on her tax the year before. In addition, a $3,000 check comes to her within a couple of days because she had a refund due her from the state. In a period of 2 days, $5,500 came to her. She changed the belief, she withdrew from the emergency state, she detached from it, did not get drawn in by it, understood its falsity, shifted the belief by changing the image, and suddenly the universe comes to her aid. That's how it works. That's how it works in spiritual life. That's the way spiritual life operates. You cooperate with spiritual life, with the invisible world, it cooperates with you. It gives you what you need. How that happens, we have no idea how it's going to transpire. It's not important. All we know is that we have faith and trust that we are connected to a source that is there for us. We have faith in that, and now we're testing it out, and we have the opportunity to test it out through the dealing with the emergency situation. So the emergency state gives you the opportunity to find your faith. Faith means your relation to the invisible reality. It means making up your mind to be in connection, not only to make up your mind in general, not to be an indecision, but to make up your mind and to take a step in a direction, not knowing where you're going, what the outcome will be, not to use your logic to find some sort of conclusion, that you don't want to know a result. You just want to step into a relational experience with the invisible world. And that the invisible world is there to inform us and sustain us and support us. And we're going to test that out. And what the beauty of it is that the universe has given us emergency states to test it out.